Hello, Ramley and other NFL family. I'm Peo Time of the Rams Radar, and I am going to do a Rams fan reaction to Tom Grossi's NFC West predictions. I'm only going to obviously cover the Rams portion of his video in this reaction video. Tom, obviously one of the greatest YouTubers on the planet, especially if you're into NFL content. And I always enjoy hearing what Tom has to say about the Rams. And yeah, so I'm gonna react here. I have not watched this, and I intentionally did not watch it because I wanted to make this reaction video to it. So it'll be my raw emotional reaction to when he talks about the Rams. So let me just start the video here. He talked about the Cardinals, he talked about the 49ers. Now he is going to talk about the Los Angeles Rams. Here we go.
And you got the Los Angeles Rams,
Yeah,
and I'm going to just be very honest. If there's a team from the NFC West that I'm actually really high on, it is the LA Rams, because last year they
let's go. Okay, Tom's high on the Rams. All right.
went toe-to-toe with the eventual Super Bowl champions. They almost beat the Philadelphia Eagles, and they thought they were so back. And now they're already dealing with Matthew Stafford and the problems with his back.
Okay, that's
My back. Rest up.
okay. Okay, that was funny. Yeah, if you've seen my channel, I've been talking about Stafford's back for like the past 2.5 weeks. We're still waiting, but reports are that he's going to start practicing on Monday, and hopefully he's, the back is a non-issue. I'm hoping it's a storyline that we forget about in a week or two.
Spider-Man. But last year, I had them with a floor of 7-10 and an 11-6 ceiling.
Yep.
They wound up having a 10-7 record, and we saw what they were able to do in the postseason.
Yep.
We talked about that Eagles game, and they kept it pretty darn close. But that game against the Vikings, they beat the absolute piss out of them, which makes me so happy. That defensive front.
Oh, anytime Tom gets a chance to throw shade at the Vikings, love that.
Front is very scary. With Aaron Donald gone, they thought, oh, maybe this is not going to work out. Jared Verse said, hold my beer. Unless they're working out together, then Jared Verse is a little bit afraid. But ultimately, the Rams had a really nice season.
That's a funny Easter egg for Jared Verse doing his workout with Aaron Donald. And he almost threw up, and it's been a fun joke all off season.
Look at their stats. They didn't do anything crazy on offense. They were 20th in points per game scored.
Okay.
They had the 24th worst rushing attack, and they had the 10th best passing attack. And so running the...
Okay, if you followed the Rams last year, you know it's because they were super banged up at the beginning of the year and had just a terrible start to the season. And that's why those overall statistics were down, especially the points per game. Let's see how Tom follows that up.
Football is going to be key to their identity here, right? Blake Corum has not really worked out a ton, though I still have some hope for him. They did draft another running back, and so maybe that's going to make a difference. But
okay, so the Rams always draft a running back. They've drafted a running back every year since McVay has been head coach. So yes, they drafted Jarquez Hunter this year, but also rookie running backs historically don't have a lot of work in the Rams system, right? Like, Kyron was injured his rookie year, but even then, he didn't get a massive amount of work. But they just paid Kyron Williams a big load of money, so I expect them to use him a lot. And Blake Corum, I'm excited to see him. I think we might see more of Blake Corum this year.
the fact that they got rid of Kupp, who did not have his best season, and they replaced him with Davante Adams, I really like that move. Davante Adams, I still think, has at least 1 to 2 years left in the tank of pretty damn good play. Linking him up with Matthew Stafford, I think, is only going to make that offense better. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like.
Again, this is a really good point. You know, I love Kupp. Cooper Kupp is one of my favorite Rams players of all time. I totally understand the past 2 seasons, Kupp has always, it seems like, been dealing with some kind of injury. And there's always been this lingering story every week that oh, Kupp's playing through injury, and he still was productive and had some good games. But I think that the Rams moving off of Kupp, it was purely a hey, we want to change up this offense. What Puka and you do is similar. We'd like to bring in a wide receiver like Davante Adams. There's a different skill set. But yeah, losing Cooper Kupp, you know, I would have loved to have seen the Cooper Kupp with Davante Adams and Puka Nacua, but I think that's just too much of a good thing, I guess. And so I am generally excited to see what Davante Adams brings to this Rams team. I think that the red zone efficiency, especially, is going to improve dramatically and get that points per game up quite a bit higher.
And then taking a look at defense, they averaged 17th in points per game allowed. They had the 22nd worst run defense and 20th pass defense. So while they were able to get after the quarterback, they still need to improve in these numbers. And if they have an even better pass rush, or if they get some improved linebacker play and their secondary is a bit better, that's why Jalen Ramsey was rumored to go to the Rams. I can see the Rams having a pretty damn good season. Yep. On top of that, getting Ford as a defensive tackle and also getting some depth on the offensive line at center is definitely going to help things. Yep. And honestly, within this division, I think the Rams are going to be favored going forward. Yep. Taking a look at their schedule, another one, it is not too bad. Besides their...
Okay, just before we get into that, so Tom brings up so many good points here. The Rams linebacking play should absolutely improve. They signed Nate Landman, who just has had a phenomenal camp, right? And rumor is he's going to be wearing the green dot. He was a free agent signing from Atlanta. And then Omar Spates, year 2. You drafted Chris Paul Jr. We're excited to see him in the preseason. I think that this defense is going to improve a lot just from development, but also from their additions. Puna Ford, probably not getting talked about enough, right? And the Rams secondary, there's question marks there for sure, but I do think the Rams are comfortable with who they have in Akel Weatherspoon, Darius Williams, and hopefully Emmanuel Forbes works out. He's kind of the great experiment for the Rams right now.
Their division rivals, they got to go up against the Texans at home, the Buccaneers, and the Lions. I think those are going to be some really tough games, and of course that Lions game is going to be really, really good. However, it's definitely not impossible to have a good record at home this season for them. And then for away games, going up against the Eagles and Ravens is definitely going to be difficult, but if they're able to play like they did last season against the Eagles, they're at least going to keep it close. And if Jared Verse is able to get even better his sophomore season, watch out. It's going to be scary. And so for the Rams, I see that defense could potentially be...
Okay, Tom again brings up the Rams do have a schedule that can give them up, as long as they play to their potential, they play their top tier football, they're gonna win some games. I'm excited to see what Tom thinks their ceiling and floor is.
Ascending, the offense should still be really damn good, especially if they're able to establish a run game. I have their floor at 10-7 and their ceiling at 12-5.
Okay. I would agree with the floor. I think their ceiling's a little bit higher, personally. But
like I said, I'm really high on the Rams. I do think that they are going to win at least 10 games, and their ceiling is pretty darn high. I think it could go beyond 12 games. It's just going to be a matter of how quick that offense is able to click. Are they going to have a balanced attack with a good run game? And if that defense can get a bit better, I think they're going to win this division. And then
Okay, thank you, Tom. Appreciate you and all the work that you do. Always cheering you on. And so I'll just finish off with my quick thoughts here. I think that Tom has a good grasp on all 32 teams because he is so engaged. Although he's a hardcore Packers fan, he is a football fan, right? And when there's good football, Tom recognizes it. He cheers for it. He's a true fan, right? I think agree with almost everything he said. I would only add that the Rams have done a good job at developing their young talent. And Kevin Dimoff said in an interview recently with the Rams brothers, actually, that this new group of Rams is very homegrown, right? You got your Jared Verse, you got your Byron Young, Kobe Turner, your Braden Fiss, you have your Puka Nacua, your Kyron Williams. This is a Rams team that they've rebuilt, kind of the remodel started really after that 2022 year that just was disastrous. And moving off Jalen Ramsey, moving off of Bobby Wagner, moving off of high-priced free agents from that Super Bowl team, which I think a lot of NFL teams probably don't make those tough decisions as early as they need to, right? And so the Rams, after 2022 didn't work out, they were like, you know what, we're gonna rebuild this thing, right? And they got a ton of draft picks in 2 consecutive drafts. And last year they didn't have as many draft picks, but they didn't need that many draft picks because they've drafted really well. And next year they have 2 first-round picks, some of the most draft capital in the NFL. I know that they got to start thinking about the quarterback of the future, but if you're thinking about just 2025 right now, the Rams absolutely have a high ceiling. This could be one of the best Rams season in their franchise history. I think Tom, I think his ceiling could be a little bit higher for the Rams. I think them winning 15 games is not crazy. I really truly believe that. They have some tough road games for sure, especially the Eagles and Ravens, and they have some they have some traveling to do. They got to go across the pond once. I think this Rams team is going to be good. Anyway, I always appreciate Tom Grossi, and I look forward to reacting to more of his content whenever he talks about the Rams. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, share it out, all that good stuff. As always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams.